I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Pasadena Independent School District Board of Trustees in special session on Tuesday, June 13th, 2023, in the boardroom of the Administration Building, 1515 Cherrybrook Lane, Pasadena, Texas, at 5:30 p.m. Board members present: Mr. Marshall Kendrick, Ms. Nelda Sullivan, Mr. Kenny Fernandez, Ms. Paola Gonzalez Fusilier, and me, Casey Phelan. Board members absent: Ms. Crystal Davila and Ms. Vicki Morgan. Let the record indicate that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting is duly called, and that notice of this meeting was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. If you'll stand with me, we'll conduct the invocation and the pledges. Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly and Gracious Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for each and every person gathered here. We ask for your wisdom and guidance as we go about the business of our district. Protect us, guide us, and show us the way, Lord. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Show me a pledge to the American flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
We'll now adjourn to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.074 for the purpose of considering the appointments, employment, evaluation, reassessment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear complaints of charges against a public officer or employee, unless the individual who is the subject of the deliberation or hearing requests a public hearing concerning matters related to the superintendent's recommendations to hire administrative personnel, and or the superintendent's recommendations related to renewals, non-renewals, and terminations of contract for professional personnel. 551.071, to consult with district attorneys concerning matters of which the attorney's duty to the district under the Code of Professional Responsibility clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meetings Act, to seek the advice of its attorneys about pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer, and or to consider legal advice regarding items specifically listed on the agenda. 551.072, for the purpose of discussing the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. And we'll reconvene as soon as humanly possible.
Process in January, and we had a deficit once everybody turned in all their needs and wants, everything in the kitchen sink, of about $30 million, and that probably makes your head and stomach hurt as bad as it does mine. But we knew that we could not bring such a budget deficit forward, so we started the work immediately looking at how to trim that down. So the updated budget we're showing you tonight that you have in front of you is right at about $10.9 million, which is the same when we showed you draft one, which was very recently at the board meeting last month. This budget includes the salary pay raise that we're going to bring forward this night on the agenda. It also, of course, has the expense side of it as we move through the next couple of months and follow the special session that they're in right now. As we all know, a legislative session has been taking place, and we're going to keep you updated on any changes throughout the budget process. Right now, there's not a lot of positive for public school finance, and we all know that's being held hostage by the voucher decision, and we plan on watching it very closely, and any additional funds that we feel are going to come from the revenue that might be given toward public schools, we're going to be making you aware. We hope to have another budget update in July at the regular meeting, and then, of course, the final budget, as always, comes to you in August for you to approve. But we're prepared to answer questions after Ben goes over a few key items. Take it away, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, President Phelan, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Powell. Thanks for your oversight and overview, Dr. Powell, in discussing the 23-24 draft budget. As you remember, last year we adopted a budget deficit of $7.8 million, and currently we're still at the $10.9 million that were brought to you a couple weeks ago. So we've, again, some big items that we added to the budget. $4 million of property insurance. Just the values went up, property insurance, and the way the market is. I had a big increase on property insurance. Transportation and maintenance costs continue to increase, so we've included that. As Dr. Powell talked about, the 3% pay raise that's on the agenda tonight as well. That's modeled in the budget of at $10.9 million. We try to be conservative on revenue estimates, and we try to be realistic on expenditures. We went through the process to right-size staffing in response to COVID. So we did decrease positions by 150, and that's included in the budget as well. And then just a reminder that all the federal ESSER dollars do expire in September of 2024. So this is the last full budget year, 23-24, and then the federal ESSER money goes away. So that's kind of a brief overview, and like Dr. Powell talked about, we'll bring it back in July for an update. We'll continue to monitor the special session at the state level, and then we'll be prepared to bring it for adoption in August. So can any of your questions?
Any questions for Ben or myself at this time?
Paring it down as you go. Appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, board members. We still have work to do, and we'll keep you updated.
Okay. Consideration and possible approval of administrative personnel.
Mr. President, I move that we approve personnel addendum A through E.
Second.
Second by, or motion by Ms. Sullivan, second by Ms. Fusilier. Any discussion?
I would like to read the names of those. Miss Cassie. I'm sorry.
We need a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead, Ms. Sullivan.
Miss Cassie Morrison. I don't think
She's going to
that-
be right there.
There she is.
Yeah, the principal, of course, of Jackson Intermediate, Jennifer Stewart, has her on FaceTime, so she sees you.
Very good. Miss Morrison has been approved for the position of counselor at Jackson Intermediate School for the 23-24 school year. And she's got us on the phone, so let's give another big applause. And we're sorry that you couldn't be here, but we know that you're having a great time where you are. And we'll all be excited to see you come back and take your new position. Thank you very much. Would her school like to stand and be recognized? Are they here?
All right.
All three of them.
So, and as you can see, you are represented here, and congratulations to you. Thank you very much. Our next individual is Mr. Enrique Garza. Is Mr. Garza with us? Mr. Garza has been approved for the position of assistant principal at L.F. Smith Elementary School. Congratulations. And do you have family with you?
Yes.
Very good.
Lost my words, but I brought my wife with me, and she's the one that inspired me to be an educator, so this is all for her. Oh. My father is joining us today.
Awesome.
Very good. And you have 3 beautiful children, and they are so dressed for the occasion. This is a special day for them, as well as for you.
So are you taking them out to eat, or are they taking you out to eat?
They have enough money to take me out to
Nice.
Right.
Like it. They look very sharp. Good-looking family.
so much.
Congratulations.
And congratulations.
Judy, I
And do
know
you
you're
have school
sad.
family with you also?
I do. My now previous principal, Ms. Judy Diaz, she's here with us, and my new L.F. Smith family member.
Very good. I mean, you've got the cheering squad with you. That's great.
I'm so blessed and happy to be here.
Thank you very
Welcome.
much.
Congratulations.
And Miss Kelly Munahan.
There we go.
There she is. Ms. Munahan has been approved for the position of assistant principal at Thompson Intermediate. And congratulations. And do you have family with you?
Yes, I have my husband and my parents.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And I see that you brought your Thompson group with you, too. And congratulations to each and every one of you. We're delighted for you.
They have an exciting summer ahead of them.
No joke.
Yes, they do.
A very busy summer.
That's right,
Yes.
once in a
And-
lifetime.
And we're all looking forward to an invite to preview it with you. Congratulations.
You skip one. You skip one.
And Sarah Williams, come on down. There she is. Ms. Williams has been approved for the position of coordinator for the Special Education Department. Congratulations to you, and do you have family with you?
I do. I brought my husband Paul, and of course my SPED family is here and there. And there's lots and lots of people here that I know and love very much. And so I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you very much for your service to our district, and congratulations.
Congratulations.
And we have another special circumstances. Miss Amber Morris is not with us in person.
She is at the happiest place on earth.
But she is with us in spirit and by picture. Ms. Morris has been approved for the position of principal at South Belt Elementary. And we're excited and delighted since she couldn't be here, and it's great that we have the picture. Is the South Belt crew here? Great. Stand and be recognized.
There they are.
There they are.
Happy teachers, huh?
And Ms. Morris, as you can see, everyone's excited that you're going to be the principal at South Belt, and we want to congratulate you. Thank you very much. Someone went to
Thank you. So sorry I couldn't be there. Thank you, Dr. Powell and board, though. Thank you so much.
and thanks to you. We know this is going to be a great relationship.
Miss Harrell emailed the staff and said, "Come to the board meeting and meet your principal." Well, I knew she was going to be at Disney World. I was like, "Oh, come to the meeting." You know your principal. Okay.
And that concludes our very special part of the board meeting tonight, and a special congratulations to each and every one of you. You as the staff is what makes our district the district that it is. And we know a lot of you came for this very special event. If you'd like, you may now leave, or if you'd like to stay for the rest of our board meeting, we would be delighted to have you, but we'll let you make that decision. Okay?
Congratulations.
Aren't they precious?
Congratulations.
Look at the little one.
My daughter's classmate. So we know he's my daughter's classmate.
Oh, really?
So we know them well. Yeah.
Well, all of you don't have to
Yeah.
desert.
And then there were a few.
They just said one thing and they cleared the room.
Let them give him another. Get out of the room. Okay, so we'll move on.
Yeah.
Everybody ready? Let's get consideration and possible approval of a 3% midpoint salary increase for the 2023-2024 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Marshall Kendrick, seconded by Kenny Fernandez. Any discussion?
So board members, as we talked about last budget workshop, we're bringing forward the 3% and then watching again what the legislators are doing, and then we'll have further discussions. But we felt like for purposes of retention and recruitment, we wanted to bring this forward and have you take action and then have further discussions as we go through the legislative process.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Consideration and possible approval to cancel the optional homestead exemption under 11.13N of the Texas Property Tax Code.
So moved.
Motion by Marshall Kendrick, seconded by Nelda Sullivan. Any discussion?
So board members, we have Ben Poppy here. We also have our attorney with Purdue and Brandon, Mr. Bailey, correct, is here. You've had information, you've researched this and looked at it. You've looked at other districts that did this some time ago. And as we know, we're predicted to have the lowest tax rate in a long, long time coming up next year. We appreciate the focus of tax compression for our homeowners here in our community by the legislatures. We are homeowners ourselves in this community, each and every one of us, and we appreciate that. But what that equates to and what our board understands is that as our tax rate goes down drastically and the required state homestead exemption goes significantly up, that means additional amounts of exemption that you're giving, and you have given so faithfully. And as we research it, for at least the last 30 years, you've given to the community above and beyond what is required. It means reduced resources and reduced programming for our students. And you, as elected officials, you're put in these positions to make hard decisions. And honestly, decisions that are best for the children, and that's what you do each board meeting, and for the staff of Pasadena ISD as witnessed in this last decision that you made, and the community as a whole. So we just want to highlight that leaving $9 million on the table each year for students year after year was possible in the last 30 years because they weren't as lean as what they are this year. And they were truly appreciated by our community. But right now, and I have to stay on script or I'll get on my soapbox, public schools are being starved in name of vouchers being approved. And we know that the standstill that is happening regarding vouchers is going to determine whether we get any additional funding or we don't. And we're going to be on our own in that situation if we don't. And if we do accept vouchers, then we know we're going to do harm to our public schools and to our students. So we appreciate you making this tough decision. We know that that's hard to do, but it's what's right for Pasadena ISD and for the children. It's right for making sure we make every effort to provide the best education for our children and the best opportunity for our staff to remain here in Pasadena ISD and have the resources that they need. So I didn't do too much of my soapbox because Ben was like, well, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? But do you want to come up and add anything else? You have this handout that you've already been given about the homestead exemption, what it means for our, we're going to see a savings in Pasadena ISD. Each homeowner is going to see a significant savings. And we would join that over 50% of the school districts in Harris County that have done this years ago. Is that correct? Over 50%. So I don't know if you have any questions, but Ben's here and we'll try to do our very best to answer them.
I do have a question. So you're saying that the impact to the homeowners would actually be none, right? So there still would be a tax savings?
Absolutely.
There
Okay.
shouldn't be tax savings. I mean, the state has continued to compress the maintenance and operations tax rate since House Bill 3 passed in 2019. So every year we get certified values around the end of July, and we submit those to the Texas Education Agency to approve our maximum compressed rate.
Okay.
So last year, I think we dropped over 4 pennies, over 4 cents on maintenance and operations. Estimated values were received in late April. We're up, and so that comes into play. So the end of next month, we'll find out what our maximum compressed rate will be. But what's based on certified estimates, it looks like there'll be another compression statewide. And just to clarify this, this is completely separate than the state mandated exemption.
And the state mandated exemption has support on the House side and the Senate side to go even up further. So used to be 15, then it was 25, then 40 last year. There's talk of $100,000.
Wow. Okay.
The state has plenty of money to look at tax relief, and that's one of the items on the special call election that's going on in the special session.
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Any other questions? Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Consideration and possible approval of the 2023-2024 Memorandum of Understanding between the Pasadena Independent School District and the Harris County Juvenile Board.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Sullivan,
Second.
second by Mr. Fernandez. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Consideration and possible approval of allowances expenditure authorization, AEA number T001, for the new administration building replacement project in the amount of $474,703.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Sullivan,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Fernandez. Any discussion?
Dr. Powell, will this be picked up under the contract, or is this in addition to the original contract to Sterling?
So it's in the budget, correct, Kevin?
Yes, we supplemented the project with the $500,000 for the insurance claims.
So this is part of that discussion that we had recently with our insurance carriers to go ahead and start moving on the roof. So we are told that we'll be covered there. So we're making sure that we
Under
get
that.
that done in a timely manner, but also follow up and make sure it's covered.
Hold their feet to the fire.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. There being no further business, this meeting is now adjourned at 6:43 PM.